on. Say whatever the bullshit you
I
talking
just took
about.
a video.
Are
I
you
can
taking
take.
a video in the glasses?
Yeah, it's recording right now. I
He
can
like that
ask it.
cool ass uncle who do cool shit. Like, look here,
I'm
young
not the
blood.
tech boy. You
I
the tech
got
boy
this.
though.
You're right, but I
You
would
the
never
tech
have some
boy.
shit in my glasses.
No, I just seen him and I just thought it was dope. Just like how you take a picture. You're like, oh, you gotta. No, I can just
We
take a
got you,
picture
cool
of.
home. We got you.
I'll be the cool one. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
That's fine.
Check this out.
No, what I'm about to
Hey,
ask
Meta,
y'all.
record this. Hey, Meta, take a
Listen,
picture.
and
Look at
and I'll be like,
this.
hey, Meta, and it's John Cena voice.
Yeah.
Hey, you know that terrorist had them glasses too, and that meta them glasses take note of everything.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out, not to get
All right,
morbid or
listen, I'm
dark.
at the house. Meta can do what he want to do. Um,
Paris spent dollars too. So do
yeah,
I.
what's this episode? 170?
Episode 170. Yo.
This is Brothers Talking Shit Podcast, episode 170. If you don't know, at the 170 episodes who I am the flat boy, aka the flesh man. No, I'm the flesh man, aka the fat boy. I'm still calling you broadish. I'm still your huckleberry. And we out here. We a little low, but the
We
game
here.
must
You know
go
what I'm
on.
saying? You know what I'm saying? We not the Brothers Tank Clan today. We like Brothers to Men. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey, I like that.
that's what we are
Another
today.
brotherly creation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I'm Rel, aka Iceberg Shorty, aka the king of controversial comments. I said what I said. Don't at me unless you try and cut the check. Let's go.
It's on me.
It's on
Yeah.
you.
Oh man. Hey man, if y'all don't know who it is me, boy Drew, the charm god, and I'm here to pod, baby. Yes, I am a very controversial conversator, and I can be very uncomfortable. We want y'all to also throw 50K in the chat because we're getting 50,000 subscribers this year, man. Yeah.
Yo, what up? This your boy Dre B, aka King Mello. Turn me up in the headphones. I'm ready to pod.
Let's go. Shout out to Cool Mike. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to JB. You know them boys can't be here,
BJ.
but
I told BJ too when I seen his ass Friday.
yeah,
Yo,
come on,
get
cuz.
your
Stop playing,
ass
cuz.
on. Yeah, he
Let's
cooking
lock
up some
in.
other stuff for us though. So I can't be too mad at him because he's working on a project.
Let's lock
Okay.
in. All right, man. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Now,
No,
Boy,
I ain't.
no, yo, I need you to give it that type of energy. You the
What's
Eagles,
wrong?
they didn't just win the Super Bowl.
Right.
They beat
The
the
Eagles.
brakes off the Chiefs. Like
No,
it
they
wasn't
put
even
hand. They put
close.
hands and feet on the Chiefs.
Yeah, like my take is horrible. Like what I said, Chiefs by 17, it
You
was
was
so
talking crazy.
bad. Like it
No,
was so
what?
I
bad.
said 14.
I
I
No,
ain't
wanted to
say
you
go
picked
back
the
17.
and
Eagles
edit
though.
that
We
out.
all picked the Eagles except for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say Eagles by 14. But
Everybody said the Eagles except for me.
I felt like the defense. I didn't expect that.
No.
I
no,
didn't
me
expect
either.
that. I felt like if they was going to win, the defense was going to have to definitely do some things. I said that Jalen Carter was going to definitely be up close and personal with Patty Mahomes. It wasn't necessarily him; it was more Sweat and the other defensive line, other defensive end. Carter did a little something, but it was a whole lot of the other guys. Um, what a win! Saquon didn't. I thought Saquon was going to really get off,
Bottled up.
but
I thought
you
I
had
thought
to give him
Saquon
them carries though.
I thought
Yeah,
Saquon was gonna be the MVP.
I thought he was too.
yeah.
Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Hell of a
Shout out.
game.
We're not shouting out Jalen Hurts on my
I'm shouting out
platform.
Jalen Hurts. Hell
Oh,
of a
Sorry, I'm the
game.
engineer. I mute this shit out. Goddamn, all
Well,
that
I'm gonna say
shout
that shit a lot. This shit gonna sound like
uh,
motherfucking blanks, a whole bunch
right.
of blanks. No,
hey,
but
you
No,
brought
shout
a
out to
good
Jalen
game though,
Hurts. No,
because
he
there were
did.
things happening in the game. I was like, damn, he said this. We had just talked about this, like the O line, like it's gonna be which O line gonna perform better.
right,
Like that Philly O line was crazy, bro. He had so
Mm.
it
much time
was.
in that pocket.
And Philly got to chill because that was offensive pass interference by AJ Brown. Like, don't they was ready to. I was with my father-in-law. Shout out to the big homie. The
Yeah.
big homie was, oh, here we
They
go.
go. They
No,
starting already.
he pushed off
Yeah,
though.
it was
He
OPI.
pushed
It was
off.
OPI.
It definitely was.
Yeah.
But they really it was a dominating hell of a performance by the whole team. Howie Roseman, I don't know if his name come up enough about the moves he make when you take a guy like Braun, who was a special team player with the Saints, and make him he comes in and plays middle linebacker and is an all pro, and he's not
Shout
gonna
out
be
to
there
Zach
next year the way
Bond.
it's looking because they're gonna better pay him.
Hey, we gonna
But
pay him.
to start two rookies, shout out to the young boy DeJean, who's a rookie. He pick six. Them
On his
boys
birthday, dog. He
on
just
his
turned
birthday.
22. Win the Super Bowl on your
Him and
birthday. 22
Saquon.
year old. Yeah, they share the
Right.
same birthday.
Now,
That's
real
crazy.
quick,
Yeah.
Where do you go? And I know everybody gonna line up. Everybody gonna have to say about the Super Bowl. As that cat, if you 22 years old and you have a, where does your career? That's the high of highs.
Two picks
Like
next year. Like I
anything
don't know
less
what
than
else
that,
is
you
there.
like,
Yeah,
this ain't it. You get what I'm
I
yeah,
saying?
don't know. I
for
mean,
sure.
you get to clone Cherokee Diaz and get to him as a wife or something. I don't know. I can't think of anything more wilder because it's like, dude, that's crazy. When you win the Super Bowl on your birthday.
Right. Your
Yeah,
22nd birthday. You know
22nd
how
birthday.
crazy your night had to be? At 22. Everybody, no, know what? Y'all get your takes, and then I'm gonna ask the question. Dre, how you
Yeah,
felt about the Super Bowl?
I was surprised. I had the Eagles winning, but I didn't expect them to dominate like that. I mean, they really made Patrick and Mahomes look average. He looked like an average quarterback sitting back there trying to throw that ball. I mean, shout out to the Eagles. I mean, it ain't much more than you can say. That's one of the most dominating performances I've seen in the Super Bowl in a long time. So, shout out to them.
Juice?
Man, same. I think I got to see a complete football team. That's what I want to see.
Mm.
I want to see defense. I want to see offense. I don't want to just see you go into the air. I want to see you be strategic. You know what I'm saying? Patience, just everything you see in the championship football team. I was locked in. I'm like, oh, like I want them to win because I just want to be anti Kansas City. I'm a Texas fan, but at the same time, damn, it's like that was a really great performance. I also said last episode, I felt like Jalen Hurts had the pressure on him. So
He
I really
did.
wanted to
He
see
did.
him progress. And he did a good job, man. He played his role, so um I'm feeling like where does that place him in the conversation? I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to the experts on numbers and everything else like that. But I think, hey, rings matter. Will they do this again? I'm really locked into what Philly got going on. And Gilly the kid,
Who said he was a,
shout out to
was
Gilly.
that you, Dre, or was it Cool? Who said that Gilly Kid talk some, when we said who has,
Oh, that was me.
that was you.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Right.
And
Now,
Gilly,
before you go,
Gilly ain't
Iceberg, I
waste,
know you're about to go,
he ain't
Yeah,
waste
but
no time neither.
what Juice
no.
just said about, damn, what did Juice just say? My bad. Go ahead, Iceberg. I'll come
About
back.
where did they go from here?
No, he said something, and I wanted to say something real quick, but I don't got to. Go ahead, Iceberg. I'll think about it in a second.
Yeah,
now I want to know. Well, go ahead.
right, yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, like it was completely dominating performance from the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Like if your defense front four can get the type of pressure they can get around what people arguably consider the greatest quarterback to ever do it, that means seven people in the back can do whatever they want. That's insane. They blitzed one time the entire game, and he was under duress. Like I've never seen anything like it. And then I think about it, I'm lying. The Giants front four got after Tom
Tom Brady.
Brady. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? With that, that was
Oh yeah.
OC and JP. JPP was coming off the off the bench, right? He wasn't even
He
starting,
wasn't even
but
starting.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Back to the Eagles. This is when he had all his hands, all his fingers too. Yeah, he had all of them. But shout out JPP. He was a Raven last year, but yeah, last year before. Anyway, um the Eagles did a phenomenal job, bro. And he was Jalen Hurts was able to do whatever he wanted, right? And that kill shot that he threw to Devontae, and oh, let's be conservative. Play action with Saquon over the top. That young boy caught that ball like, oh, and they didn't even get past the 50-yard line until the late in the third quarter, right? When that one play and then God damn, DeAndre
It was
Hopkins
game
dropped
over.
a
Oh yeah.
wide open pass where he would have had green pasture in front of him, man. So it just was all bad, man. Travis Kelsey, yeah, we can talk about all the other stuff later on in the conversation, but yeah, shout out to the Eagles, man. Shout out to my little cousin who's an Eagles fan. Shout out, rest in heaven to my cousin Rick, who's from Philly, diehard Eagles fan, man. All my people, man. So it's just been, yeah, it was good. It was really good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, do
So,
y'all think that the time is winding down on Travis Swift? Do y'all think the time's winding down on him?
on
Yes.
Travis Swift.
Yeah. Talking about Travis Kelsey, man.
Oh,
Taylor
all right.
Swift. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
My
Come on, man.
bad. Sounds like
Golly.
who is
He
Travis
about to go on
Swift?
ESPN, look up the stats.
Oh
Like,
no,
who's
I
this?
I definitely think I think it was I think last year it was throughout the season he wasn't really as relevant as he's been in the past. But playoff time, he turned it up and looked like himself, looked real good in the playoffs. I said coming into the Super Bowl, if that first drive he got 4 or 5 catches, it's gonna be a long day. So I felt like he was a very important piece of their success and them possibly winning. Does he give it up? Does he retire? I don't see nothing wrong with retiring. 3 championships and the money for the podcast and what him and his brother about to do, they about to get a whole lot more money. So if it's I mean, if you want to play because you want to play and you want to win or whatever, you won 3 championships. You're about to make a lot of money outside of football to the point where as though that's not even an issue. So I mean, yes, he's taking a step back. If he comes back, I don't see him ever being, he's not a top 5 tight end in the league coming back. I don't think so.
Oh, that's that. What, huh? Really? You believe
I
that?
think the bull I think if he came back, the bull gray would be really pressing him for time and
I don't think it's fair to say that he wasn't who Travis Kelce was, but he wasn't who Travis Kelce was because Patrick Mahomes didn't have time. It had nothing to do with his production. None of them were who they were, right?
right.
They only caught catches in garbage time because everybody else like, let's get out of here. I want to be able to walk during the parade, right? I don't care about that Xavier Worthy touchdown. Who cares?
He had
Garbage
2 of them,
time.
didn't he?
I, I
Right.
I wouldn't know, right? I
Hmm.
wouldn't know when he had whatever that was. And I felt like they were just padding stats for the over under because the over under was like 48 and a half.
And
But
if real talk, the score don't tell the story of the game.
nah.
The stats don't tell the story of the game because, like you said, a lot of 75% of what they score, 75% of the yards and the stats that they got came in that fourth quarter when everybody was just trying to run that clock out and get it done. What I was bothered by, only thing on the Eagles that was bothered by, I'm going back to AJ Brown because in the midst of them, they were up and something happened on the sideline where as though it seemed he was doing what he did early on in the year where it's an attitude we winning. First of all, Saquon Barkley looked like the perfect teammate. I don't know how he was with the Giants.
Dog,
I
it
don't
ain't
know if
even a
this is
look,
the
bro.
thing
It
he's
ain't even a
showing,
look.
but the way
He is
he looked
dog,
like
dog.
he should
You
be
can't
NFL
not
Player of
root
the
for him.
Year.
You can't not root for him.
Right.
Bro,
Yeah, you
You
can't.
seen him grab the ball boy out of the crowd at the
What he
parade?
bro.
like? He double take to realize who the dude was. He looked at like, "What are you doing right here?" Like, I don't know. I ain't get invited. Shit. Picked
Right.
him up over the barrier and said, "Walk with me." That's
Right.
crazy, dog. That's
So
crazy.
to go back to AJ Brown, it seemed like he had a little attitude and it's like, dog, when we winning, it ain't about you. We winning. Like you can't, we don't need that.
I want to give him some grace, man. Like this is the biggest game of your life, right? And you're entitled to have whatever emotions you're having, whatever's going on, and the camera just kind of, you know what I'm saying, pick and choose what it is. I don't. Is he AB? No. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't see him as a diva receiver outside. I want to help my team win. And then you being in that space, you're like, all right, like what else would you like him to do other than show some type of passion or emotion? When he was sitting down reading the book Docile, we got mad at him for that. When he fired up, we mad at him for that.
Now
Like
I don't know if he's
I
mad
just
at him
don't.
reading the book,
Yeah, I don't.
but AB
Much to
wasn't
do about nothing for me.
AB wasn't AB till he was AB though.
I mean, but I don't see that coming from AJ Brown. You're talking about a guy that pulls up to a playoff game in a Honda Accord. My man got millions and millions of dollars. So I just don't see a AB future in him. You're in the biggest game of your life. I feel like he's just emotional. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
Right.
You want him to have that fire. You want him to want to be on the field and want to play. He wants the ball. He wants to make a difference in the game. I think that's to be expected from anybody in his position. So I don't think like Rel said, I think it's much to do about nothing.
All right. Well, y'all my brothers. I stand back. And I'm gonna accept that
yeah.
from them. Um, does the performance of Patrick Mahomes change the conversation? Well, we all kind of said that he wasn't even in the conversation. The Tom Brady stuff wasn't even something that we should consider. And I think Iceberg, you even said that you don't feel like he's number 2. How
Yeah,
bad of a performance? Like, how much does this stain his? And I'm gonna start with you, Iceberg. How much does this stain his legacy?
I don't think it stains his legacy at all, man. You can't win them all, right?
Right.
Unless your name is Joe Montana, then you can. Like even like Tom Brady's the GOAT, and I think I don't like the revisionist history of it, right? I watched Tom Brady do everything that Tom Brady did. I grew up a New England Patriots fan, and for the world who didn't know, right? I die hard. I got on crutches with a broken ankle, and my first Baltimore Ravens game was as a Patriots fan. Let me be very clear. So I'm speaking from my heart. You get picked 199, right? He wasn't supposed to be who he was. What, Patrick Mahomes was 11th or something like that? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
like 7-3, right? In the Super Bowl, and you say, well, he's done this in his first 7 years or this and that. All right, sound cool. He's a great quarterback. But GOAT talk, I haven't seen enough. And longevity is a part of GOAT talk, right? That's a part of it.
Right.
I don't care if I have the single best season as a running back in the NFL. That doesn't mean I'm going to the Hall of Fame because longevity is a part of it, right? I can go run for 2,500 yards now. They wouldn't put me in the Hall of Fame for the next 30 years, right? Like, oh, somebody ain't getting in, right? So I just think that that's part of it, man. And you just kind of look at it and say, well, all right, here we are. What else is he going to do? But he's early in his career. He's still got a lot of time.
A lot of
You
players to
run
do.
off
Hopefully.
5, you know what I'm saying, in the next 7 to 8 years, then we having a different conversation. But even if he won this one by 40-0 the other way, I wouldn't have said, oh, he the GOAT. That wouldn't have
Right.
never came out my mouth.
How you feeling about it, Dre?
I mean, I'm a diehard Patriots fan as well, so I don't even think there's a conversation on who the best quarterback is of all time. But I will say this: there's nothing that Pat Mahomes was going to do on that field on Sunday that was going to make me put him in the conversation for the greatest of all time. When the game was going on, I was in the group chat and I was telling her, funny stat: Joe Montana never threw an interception in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know
So
that.
right, so when we start talking about great
I
quarterbacks,
ain't know
yes,
that either.
I will agree, right? I will agree that Pat Mahomes has probably had the greatest start to any quarterback's career in the history.
Facts.
I think
Yep.
that's undeniable, right? But like Rail said, that has nothing to do with the next 10, 15, 20 years. How long is he going to play? How many more times is he going to make it to the Super Bowl? How many more times is he going to win? So I think there's too many question marks out there for us to be having a conversation of whether Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. If he was able to pull off the three-peat, okay, cool. He did something nobody else has done. That's fine. But what if he never wins again? Are we still talking about he's the greatest quarterback of all time? So I don't like, I don't like the being trapped in the right now, right? Everybody wants to talk about right now, and I just don't like that, right? Let's not forget what Tom Brady did when he was on the field. And I think Patrick Mahomes is a long way away from, really being legitimately in GOAT talk because there are a lot of quarterbacks that did a lot of things for, an extended amount of time. And like Rel said, I think longevity has a lot to do with greatness, right? There are plenty of running backs that are going to run for, 15, 16, 1700 yards. All of them ain't making it to the Hall of Fame. There are
Right.
going to be plenty of quarterbacks that throw for 3, 4,000 yards and, this season or that season, but all of them not making it to the Hall of Fame. So I think there's a lot of questions he has to answer. And I think there's a lot more playing he has to do before he's in that conversation.
Juice?
I mean, I feel the same way. First off, I don't think it's anything he could have done on that field himself to win. There was just there was just a better team over
Yeah.
there. So let's not start tarnishing what the man has done and accomplished in this amount of time. But I'm gonna mimic what everybody has said here because I wholeheartedly believe it. Man, come on, man. We can't. We talking. Listen, the 2 times that made me believe in Brady, the 2 moments happened in my city.
Mm,
Carolina, that Carolina game showed me, okay, he's a different guy. He's a different guy. And the Atlanta Falcon game, if
mm.
you could watch
That
when
one right
I
there.
mean, sitting there watching that happen, like what's going on? Like there's moments, to what you said, real revisionist history. Like, okay, well, I think this person's better now because of the competition. How do you know that? How do you know that? Like it, we're talking about things where people are very skilled at what they do, and we got to see them do it. So I just think we need to cut it out with the comparison to Tom Brady, and he ain't got enough time as far as what he's accomplished. He's done a lot of great things. Hopefully, he does play longer, and we get to see what happens in the future. So we'll see in this game. Hey, the Eagles was just a better team. They ain't got nothing to do with Pat Mahomes, dog. It's like,
And we know this conversation ain't going nowhere. This conversation is
Nah,
going to be a part
yeah.
of conversations for years to come. Well, I guess it depends on how it all plays out, but I think it's going to be part of conversations. If you think about, when I think about, because we're talking about a short career, the start of Penny Hardaway's career and how
mm,
Penny Hardaway's career ended up being is
Mm-hmm.
two different things. 4 years into the
Mm-hmm.
league, you'd have been like, yo, this guy's going to be
He
an
was the next one.
all-time great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it don't happen. You think about Grant Hill's first 5 or 6 years in Detroit, and you feel like, yo, Grant Hill is like Scottie Pippen 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And we see what happened. You know, DMX first two albums. If DMX died after his first two albums, DMX would have been considered the greatest rapper of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Facts.
say, you
Facts.
know, so we just gonna have to wait and see as far as Patty Mahomes. All right, now, world, I want to let y'all know something. I'm a part of this. We got a text group where all of us are a part. It's about 8 of us who's a part of this group.
The
And
whole
there
part.
is a lot of dislike for Kendrick Lamar in this group. Okay. To the point where as though, if you know me, I'm very vocal. But when they get to talk about Kendrick and Drake, I don't say anything. Do y'all notice that I don't say anything?
Yes. Of
I
course.
disagree with everything y'all say, but it's too many of y'all for me to be out here trying to rumble all 7 of y'all. So, Juice, how did you feel about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show?
all right, I'm gonna separate from the pack because I kind of read the overall temperature, but this is I'm an artist, so everybody, if you didn't remember that,
Yep.
I'm the artist here, right? I can
Yep.
be honest and unbiased. To me personally, if you hadn't seen the Killer Callejon commentary on his Instagram, he spoke on his feelings of it, and I actually agree with Killer. I think, and the numbers reflect that, for me, it's probably number two greatest Super Bowl performance on TV that I've ever seen. I wouldn't say
Really?
it's better than Michael
That's a
because
hot take. I gotta make sure I clip this up.
because
Oh
okay,
yeah, that's
okay,
I gotta clip this
so
up for
so
real.
I don't want to take too much time cooking because we all got to talk about this, but it's like
Juice, you can. It's only 4 of us.
okay,
Like-
okay, so most rap that you see nowadays, performance wise, you're going to see people rapping with their track.
Mhm.
It's very rare that you see a rapper come out and actually perform it like other artists do.
Mhm.
Remember, I think that Kendrick, although Drake is my GOAT, if y'all know we in the chat, I'm on the Drake team.
Yep.
Right.
As an artist, I have to admit, I've said that he has one of the best breath control,
Control. Yep.
inflections. He's an artist. And the way he put, hold on, I'm sorry, my headphones went out. Can y'all still hear me though?
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, the way that he put that entire together, it's like, okay, this took time to do. This was all something that took a lot of time for them to come up with, and it looks, good. It flows well as a show. It's layered. You can tell there's themes in there and things like that. I appreciated that, and the music and the alignment and the set just sounded great. I personally never seen a performance put together that well and that good on TV before the Super Bowl. So that's why I say the performance. And I knew the songs because I've been saying that. I think Grand National, I said this real. You probably seen me
DMX.
say it.
Yep.
I said it. I said y'all niggas lying. Y'all say y'all Kendrick fans. I be on y'all ass, but you know what I learned? Y'all not listening to the music. The boy got a good album, but y'all fans, y'all just hate Drake. And so I knew the song. So as me personally, I liked it. But however, I'm gonna land my plane here because I know you niggas out there as fake fans. I know that y'all don't really like listening to the music like that. So y'all didn't know the songs. Y'all said that through social media. Y'all didn't, it was kind of boring for those that don't like that. I'm not judging. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the consensus is most people didn't like the show, whether they liked Kendrick or not.
Right.
So yeah.
Drake?
So I'm gonna just say this, Juice. Thank you for not judging me because I'm a part of the group of people that thought that the Super Bowl halftime show was underwhelming. I think that he could have done a better job of picking his set list. I think the set list was kind of suspect. Not only that, I think there's an art, to entertainment where if you are performing at the Super Bowl, right, and this is the biggest performance of your career, I shouldn't have to go on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram to get a breakdown of all the subliminals and all of those things that are in your show for people to convince me that it was good. I think that's a lost art, right? So I should be able to appreciate the art and understand exactly what I'm seeing. And sometimes, you could be too rapidy rap and you could be a little too deep and you can lose the audience. And for me, like I said, I just thought that I thought the halftime show was a little underwhelming. I had bigger expectations for Kendrick, especially being that he is at the apex of his career right now. So I thought it was underwhelming. I mean, I went back and looked at it after I watched all the YouTube videos and all of that, breaking down the subliminals and all of the hidden messages and all of that. And I give him credit for what he attempted to do, but I think it could have been I think it could have been executed a little better. I think he a lot of it got lost in translation and it might have been a little too deep for the masses.
Iceberg.
Yeah, so let me kind of, I guess, layer it for me. I watched it in real time because I wanted to watch it in real time. I wanted to see the reaction. I wanted to see what he was going to do. I was up dancing, right? Jamming, right? I was up dancing, had my TV up. It was a really good thing because I'm looking at it from a performance standpoint. Everybody know that if I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't, and I'll say it. I'm not a big fan of GNX, but I know the words to the song, so it didn't come as a surprise to me. I was looking at it from a pure performance standpoint. Bringing Samuel L. Jackson out there and saying Uncle Sam and then just tying all that into the words and all the people jumping out the daggone GNX and then you putting the flag together and it was fractured and all the dancing, the joint doing peekaboo was live and then you bring SZA out and you know what I'm saying y'all do y'all two joints with you know what I'm saying the Luther joint and then you go right into all of these stars and then like the words around, are you really about to do it? You know what I'm saying? I'm sliding and he starts sliding. And I watched it this morning for the first time since the Super Bowl because I knew we was going to have a conversation. So I got up, got myself together, and I watched it this morning and I had more appreciation of it. I didn't watch any of the subliminal stuff because I don't care about none of that stuff. From a pure performance standpoint, I agree with Juice. I wouldn't say it's the second best because like there's a lot there over all these last, you know what I'm saying, 20, 25 years of the Super Bowl halftime. But I appreciated it as it was that day for what he did, for what he wanted to do, and he did it his way. Right? It wasn't let me get out here and do you know what I'm saying? What's the joint that everybody wanted? We gonna be all right. He did it like 2 years ago. Like he did, we gonna be all right when he was. This is his third time performing at the Super Bowl. Let's be very clear. This is his first time headlining. He performed with Beyonce. He performed with Drake, and now he's performing here. And this has all happened in the last 5 or 6 years. So it's not like he's new to the stage and don't understand it. But people again have revisionist history and act like he wasn't just there when LA won. What was that? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, like he was there, right? Like, so it's just really hard to say, man. But I think it was an overall fantastic performance, and to get on the biggest stage so far and have a diss track to the biggest artist in the world it just speaks volumes, right? It just speaks volumes on so many levels, man. So I really enjoyed it.
Now I didn't watch it the second. I haven't had the time. I've had the time to watch it, but I didn't. I should have watched it again. So all I seen it was live, and I did see a lot of the stuff that was being said about it. I think that him not doing the classics was spiteful. It was like because that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to go out there and do your best songs.
That's the problem, yo. Everybody
Right.
think that that's what's
Right.
supposed to
So I
be.
think
I wouldn't
and
say that. I
right,
wouldn't say that at all.
but you're not the majority. The majority felt like you said that he should have did all right. He should have did
Women
why didn't he
pools.
do this? Why didn't he do this song? And
That's people nitpicking on something that they believe is the case. When the Weeknd did his thing, I don't think the Weeknd went out there and did all his hits. I don't. I really
see,
don't.
okay, but I mean, I think that was a lot of the. So I believe he just through everything has stayed himself,
True to himself.
and whatever y'all expect me to do or expect me to be, because before the Super Bowl, through the whole situation, even with the Drake situation, and we haven't been on. We haven't been potting the had a deep dive throughout the year as far as that, but he never, besides musically, he never even said anything about Drake on social media, anything. He never even spoke bad about Drake on nothing. You get what I'm saying? So he seems like the type of person who just does it how I want to do it. And whatever you expect of me, I'm definitely not going to give you that. And I think that was just a perfect example of that. Just
Marching
how
to the
he
beat of your
was.
own drum.
I'm
And
just
that's what
me.
he did.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
y'all want this? No, I'm not gonna give y'all that. I'm gonna give
Right,
y'all.
exactly.
I'm
Y'all
gonna give y'all
really
what I
want to
want to
do
give
it?
y'all.
I'm
And
sliding.
I've
He
heard people
started
say,
so hard.
well, GNX is the first album that's under his situation, so all the money
PG
come to
Lang.
him, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard him say that I don't even really consider my old music like that. I live in the now.
Yeah.
So he kind of put those things out there that made those things clear that that's how he went about doing things. Now I got to tell the world, I'm definitely shocked that 2 out of the 3 said what they said up here because these guys don't really like Kendrick. Say I'm playing, but like I said, I'd be in a group chat and I'd be like, man, see, Flush 3 years ago, I would try to rumble y'all would beat me, but I would be willing to get my ass whooped for certain shit. Now I'd be like, you know what? I'll see it and I'll look at the group chat and see where we going this morning and be like, you know what? I ain't looking back at
Back
this
when the
for a little
game.
while.
That's the best part about the group chat. You can jump in, jump out, say what
I'd be
you want to
like,
say, or
because
not. Like it's
you
so
might get a
great.
you might get a
It's
Rel and JB
fantastic.
2 hour. I'd be like 42 messages. What the fuck is going on? Iceberg and JB going at it.
Going at
I
it.
do got a little pushback on the Kendrick thing. I will say he wasn't as explicit, but he was talking some shit on the low. Like in
A
them
lot of
songs,
it.
he
A
was he
lot
was
of it, yo.
And a game
he,
over at
yeah
the end.
yeah.
But speaking of Drake, did anybody how y'all feel about the new project? We're gonna start
I
with
love it.
Juice. Juice, how you feel about that new project?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So
It
was it
jammed
a
like
Drake album? Because I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't listen. It's been a busy weekend.
I don't feel like it was a I don't feel like it was a Drake album because it's with Party Next Door is on there too. But I mean, it's definitely Drake heavy. I feel like he's influenced, all that type of music. So for me, it was just I just took it in as something to jam. I'm not over analyzing it. You know me, y'all already know what my standard is. Is it jamming? Are you rapping good? Are you giving me some? You get okay. You touched on some stuff. You come on. That's I knew it. I expected that. Okay, you're preparing me for these timestamps that I'm praying that you give me. I'm praying for the album because you got a lot to talk about, kid. They came with you. The whole
Right.
industry came with you. You went out there and knocked out this Australian tour. You gave us and have y'all checked the streams? Y'all checked the numbers that is
I
done?
heard the numbers going crazy.
Oh yeah, the numbers is crazy.
The
Like
the numbers
it's
is
Drake.
go ahead.
Like even through all of this, the numbers have always said it's Drake. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I love it, man. Y'all, how y'all feel?
Drake?
So
My bad.
I haven't even given it a listen, to be honest with you. But I'm not surprised that the streams are going crazy. I mean, let's not forget Jay-Z survived Ether. Like, so
Yeah.
if people thought that like Kendrick was about to end Drake, like you're crazy because, like I said, Jay-Z survived Ether. So I haven't given the album a listen, so I'll defer on that. But I'm not surprised that the streams is going crazy because at the end of the day, people still like Drake. Like they still want to hear it. They still want to hear the Six God. So I mean, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've had a
sir.
lot of family stuff going on, man, so I haven't had uninterrupted time to just sit down and listen, and that's how I have to consume my music. So, like, I've been seeing the little hot takes. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Joe Budden's podcast, so like, I'm fully aware of that part, which made me go back and listen to that song. That was wild, but I have a yeah. I'll let the conversation go because I'll just talk about that in nauseum. But yeah, like, the beats is hard. The boy can rap, and I've always said that, right? You know what I'm saying? Check my history. Yeah, I'm the biggest Drake fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? The biggest. Full blown arguments with everybody in my house about, you know what I'm saying, him being the best artist in the world. And he can rap, and he always has. So I'm gonna give it a hearty listen to and see what was really going on, and I'll analyze it for myself and get back. I may come out with ISO next week, and address something specific that I heard or didn't hear for that matter. Like, did he address Kendrick at all? Is my biggest question to anybody here. I don't understand how you address Joe Budden for what he said, and you don't have smoke for Kendrick.
Does
If
somebody
you
got something on that? Because I got, but I might go another place after that. So you
okay,
want to go, Juice?
yeah,
On hit the response.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, I think he is responding, but I think he's more so responding to the whole. But I think that Joe Budden, okay, so real. I'm gonna see
Mm-hmm.
how you feel about this one.
Yep.
From my listening of Joe, even though I'm not the biggest Joe Budden fan, like rapper fan, I love the podcast fan of that. But as a rapper, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But I can hear how Drake may have taken some of his rhyme scheme and style by being a fan. It's like there's times where I'm like, okay, earlier on, Drake, I could kind of hear how he could maybe have some influence and manipulate it to for his rapping ability. But it just seemed like with Joe, it's always personal. I think it's a little different. Kendrick, I don't think he really even know Kendrick like that. That's how he had bad information. He don't know Kendrick like that.
Can I get that?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Go ahead. Go
Pass you
ahead.
the
I
rock.
Yeah.
I think he said Joe name because Joe, you know, if okay, you know who you're going against. I know if I say something to Iceberg, I can get something out of him quicker than I can get something out of Dre. Because Drake, you know what I'm saying? So end of the
Mhm.
day, to me, Drake know me saying Joe name. I'm dropping on Friday. When do the next episode drop on a Saturday? Joe gonna hear me say his name, and he's gonna talk about it. I think without the back, and this is what I was gonna go without the backing of his of what's the name of the company? I don't want to mess it up.
Which one?
The one some
UMG.
you what
UMG? Are you talking about?
UMG without
Oh
the
yeah,
backing
it's
of
Universal
UMG.
Music Group. That's what
Right,
UMG stands
Universal
for.
Music Group. Without
Universal.
the backing of
Yeah.
them and him feeling like he got to do things himself, I feel like he took measures and took steps to make sure, even when he posted about Joe days before that, he posted about Joe on his Finsta account. He
Mm-hmm.
posted about Joe, knowing that Joe might say something. End
Mm-hmm.
of the day, I got to use my own methods to make sure that this album does numbers. If I speak about Joe, Joe's going to say something. Joe's going to say something. It's going to be on every major
Mm-hmm.
platform, and they're going to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it. I say Joe name, the whole Melissa Ford bar. Everybody's going to go listen to it. It's going to do numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, why if I say something to Kendrick, until Kendrick's ready to say something to me, and we all know, I don't know if y'all heard like I heard the clips in that the song is sitting somewhere about to drop any day now. I'm not gonna. Why would I say something to Drake? I mean, why would I say something to Kendrick? Kendrick just told me game over. I'm gonna say something to Joe because I know how to get underneath Joe's skin. Me and Joe, it's a history. If you go back and look at it between Drake and Joe, whereas though
Yeah.
that's
That's
what
why I
they
sent
do.
Juice making the murderer, right? Which literally start off with Drake talking to Joe about
That
being a
was
fan.
funny.
Like, he's one of the greatest, right? Like he said that.
That was funny. Yeah.
There's no time or place that I could get on any platform and say anything ill about y'all. Like I think that that's wild to me. Like there's no way I could be like I don't love Neef. He ain't never mean nothing to me. Like like what are you talking about? We can have whatever
Insane.
static we want, but the fact that he's my kid's uncle, my best friend, my brother for the past 20 years, and like we've shared everything together. Like I can't be like, oh, he'll mean nothing to me. Like, in what world? Like, knock
Oh,
it off. Like, that's why I
but
feel about, what I'm saying, Drake and Drake.
okay, so I wanna throw something in there since you said that because
Yeah.
I feel like this may be a point where we can come in and have one of those moments that Flush was talking about for men.
Yeah.
I think that black men have an issue with dealing with confrontation.
Mm.
I think there is that because you even look at like Cam and Killer, well, I mean Killer, Cameron and Mace, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they even had an issue and
Killing and
they've
murder.
been friends, you know what I'm saying? They've been friends since they were kids, as Gilly pointed out, you know what I'm saying? But they had tension to the point to where they were talking about each other in the public. They were making music about each other in the public. And they're that should have been private. So even when you look at you know, the 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 Joe and Drake thing, it's like it seems really personal. A lot of times it seems really personal to where we get to talking about things. Like for instance, when Drake went off about the plane and how he had a plane and all of that, it's like, bro, that was a super emotional response. Like, why do you even have to respond to Joe like that? On the flip, I feel like Joe be a hater sometimes. He kind of do like, and I like them both, obviously. But Joe be like, bro, why you on them? Like, where this whole culture vulture thing come from? Why is everybody like hating on Drake? But we've been jamming this dude for like 15 years. Like it's sometimes it just seems a little personal things could be handled behind closed doors.
Well,
To me personally.
when you talk about a Cam and a Mace, you talk about two guys who grew up together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as much as Rels can sit back here and say, Rel can say something to me and we can have words about it, but we got longevity in our relationship. Whereas though somebody else who I've known for 2 months, he said that to me, it might be the end of that.
Right.
So it hit different. Now
Mhm.
I'm one of them strong believers in, like, I'm from Philly, right? We all know this. To me, Beanie
Right.
Siegel lost to Jadakiss.
Mm-hmm.
Ask
Mhm.
me, Flush, why did Beanie Siegel lose to Jadakiss?
Why
Who-
lose?
why
Because
you
he
look
said on the track, you forgot. Reason why I signed to the Rock, because I listen and I watch and I listen to the locks. Once you say that, you can't diss me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So to me, when you rapping and you shot, that's the problem I got with Game. Game, oh,
Mhm.
me and Yayo was doing this and me. When you saying people's name and you what's the name, you can't diss me after that. Because you've
Mhm.
right.
already gave me the what's the name? So
Yeah,
if
the
Iceberg said,
notoriety, like the
right,
respect.
if
You know what I'm saying?
Iceberg
You
said back
already
here to the
elevated
whole
me. Yeah.
world how I'm his best friend, I've been this and I've been that, and then he dissed me after that, how you can't do that?
Right.
You can't. That's like when Rick Ross played the whole Drake. Oh, and that's Drake's biggest mistake he made in the game. Every city he went to Miami, he brought Rick Ross out and told how Rick Ross was this to him and how he loved doing songs with Rick Ross, and Rick Ross took him under his wing. You
Mhm.
can't diss me after that. You can't say that and it's recorded and the whole world can see it and then double back and say anything. That's the world I live in. You can't speak on me after that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't say nothing. You can't, oh, he was the best teammate I ever had. Then this, you can't. It's over. So you need to be
Real
very
Scottie
careful
Pippinish, right?
about, right. You have to be very careful who you
Mm.
go about glorifying.
Yeah, that I don't like that. But that's
Do
another
you agree
case.
with
It's
that? Do
like,
you agree that how do
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
feel
I
about that?
mean,
Yeah.
My take on that.
Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah. That's not even really a hot take. Go ahead, Juice. You cooking?
Yeah, go ahead.
no, and I want to know. I want to know what Drake think too. Like, I mean, I don't. I think everything you said is accurate, but why does the slander follow? Like, why is everything so slanderous? If we think about social media and a lot of like high profile people, when they have tension, they just be so slanderous. So no, maybe they can't, necessarily be per se like what you're saying. But even Rick Ross was like calling him a white boy and saying all these crazy things about him. It's like, dude, okay, why we saying that now? Why we not? Because now everybody's really checking bro credibility. At least in our community, we're saying he's a culture vulture now, and we didn't let Kendrick build a whole new run off that. I'm just saying.
All
I
right, can
think
we
the
talk?
culture vulture that's whack. Like I
That's what.
never
But
engage in that. Like
can we
that's
talk
not
about
true.
this? Now him going at Lucian's daughter-in-law. What's up with him? I feel like the women thing is a very strong conversation when we talk about things that we just don't do. Now we talked
Mm-hmm.
about he did it with Pusha, he did it with Kendrick. Who else? It was another person I can't. Who else was it? Beside Lucian.
Oh, I
Now
don't
he
know.
doing the Lucian thing.
Oh,
Like
like
we don't play them games, bro.
he just going back to the well and doing what he know, right? Like there's
But
no
every
other
time
way.
when you did it with Pusha, it didn't look good for you.
But he survived that too.
When you did
Right.
it with
Even if he
Kendrick,
don't survive this, the fall from grace will take so long that none of us will even remember it. Even if he don't put out another
but
slap, he can legacy act for
why
the next
don't his
40
mind tell
years.
him that? Because end of the day, if he sat back here and said,
Oh, there's an easy answer to
hold
that,
on,
Plush.
like Dre
He's
said,
not like us.
hold
That's
on.
an easy answer.
So I think one of the problems that we have when we look at Drake is that
That's a great one.
Dr- Drake has been such a great artist in our culture that we actually forgot that he's not from our culture, right? Drake did not grow up in the hood in Houston, right? He didn't grow up in West Baltimore, right? So he is an outsider in essence that came into our culture, right? And fell in love with our culture and became one of the greatest artists in our culture. So we're expecting, right? We're looking at Drake through a lens of real niggas. And Drake not a real nigga. It is what it is. He's a great artist, but Drake not a real nigga. So stop holding him to real nigga standards. I
All right,
mean, it
so
really
Dre,
is that simple. I want to double back though to something that you said.
go ahead.
Um, when he was talking about black men and having an issue uh with conflict, right? I think the corniest thing in the world is me publicly beefing on social media or any other platform, and I got your fucking phone number. That's
Yeah.
corny. On
Yes,
on
sir.
so when I look at Rick Ross and Pusha T and all these people beefing and Drake and Joe Budden, if I got your phone number and we beefing and I don't call you, I'm corny. That's just corny. Pick up the phone. Mason Cam for years, both of them motherfuckers was corny to me. Pick up the phone, call each other, talk man to man, and figure out what the fuck's going on and
Because
move on.
if the relationship is as genuine as you try to make it out to be, that should be the move. Period.
Right.
End of the day, if I got a problem with my brother, if I got a problem with Dre, it should be nothing for me to sit back here and say, "Yo, Dre, listen, yo, can I talk to you for a minute?" It ain't for
Right.
the world. The world. That's why, to me, like you got to look at the locks, and I don't think that situation gets enough. It gets to talk, but you talking about 30 years as a group, not a problem. And I'm sure they've had problems, but the world don't know.
Don't know about it. Yeah, you
The
ain't hear
world will
about the
never
problem.
know the problems that they had, and they keep it like that. And that's a big thing in this thing of the way everybody lives in this social media thing. Is it beneficial? It is beneficial. Is it entertaining? Yes, but it's my personal. If me and my wife get in an argument right now, I'm not posting about. Oh, it's not so subliminal to her because of what we going through in the house. You get what I'm saying? It might be a call to my brother, and just to make sure I'm not tripping. You get what I'm saying? Or the people who I trust, it might be a conversation just to, you know, make sure I'm not. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong so I can fix it. But the world ain't never gonna know that. That ain't for the world. But the excuse is, oh, everybody's coming up in the social. We was born into this era, so it makes it okay to every situation. You talking about Cardi and Offset, whatever marital situations y'all got going on shouldn't be out there for the world like that. But
But they of a
it's
different age, though.
normalized,
That's what I'm saying. They of a different age. You plus 40. You talking about some people sub 30,
right?
right? Or just hitting 30. Like, I
Right.
think Cardi, what, 31, 32?
Right.
Like,
Well, when you talk about Cam and Mace, they 40 something, and I don't
they
think
older
nothing
than
they said.
us, right?
I don't know if nothing they said about each other with relationship ending. I don't even think the stuff that Cam and Jimmy are going through right now is something that at the end of the day, Cam and Jimmy can't have a conversation about and keep it moving about.
Yeah.
You know, because you ain't talking about nobody. But when you get to talk about wives and you got my daughter-in-law and you crossing barriers up. And what you said, Dre, was like, oh well, he's not from the. When you, how long do you got to stand beside me and we live this life and we break bread? You need to catch up. If you want to be a part of this, you need to know the rules of this. You
Yeah.
don't think so?
No, I don't. So, like, he got songs where he talking about some people going to sue, but then now you suing. Like you're doing exactly what you. I was listening to. I can't even remember what song it was where he was talking about it, and I was like, "Dog, you're a fucking hypocrite." And I'm a fan, right?
Right.
Like I'm still going to jam out, right? Like I'm still going to jam out, but like you're a hypocrite because like that's not what we do. Like what were you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be. Kendrick told him, "Don't take it there because I'll take it further." He warned him,
Right. He said,
and
"Oh,
like
I'm
JB
waiting.
be sitting there,
You
"Oh,
taking forever. I'm waiting."
like you can say this about DV, but you shouldn't say this about you know what I'm saying PDA or whatever." Like, huh? What are you talking about?
You
You don't
said
get
that
to
my best
dictate my
friend. You
response
said
to
my
you.
best friend might be my child's father.
Right? You said
That's
it.
that's an
He did.
on-site rumble.
That kid might be day free.
I mean,
Like,
but to everybody's point here, and even the whole concept of they not like us, you know what I'm saying? And Drake touched on this. The American Black experience specifically is what we're talking about. That
Mhm.
is the American, not the Caribbean, Jamaican, Haitian. No offense to the Black diaspora, as they say, but the American Black experience is very specific to us. That's why we're up here like, hey, we picking up the phone at this age. Hey man, I missed the phone. Hey, is a temperature? I'm checking the temperature. Like, are we really beefing? Can we handle this? You know, he did not grow up like that. He grew up in another country. You know, so even though his father is an American Black man, he didn't really have that experience.
But
So we can't
how
assume
long
that
has he
he's
been in the
gonna live.
game though? He
But
But
it
been
matter,
that's the
yo.
game.
You are who you are at your core. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
no, but you take
Like
what you want to take from it though. I'm just keeping it a buck. You
Yeah.
take what you want to take from it.
Now you saying culture
Yeah.
vulture. Like
Yes.
that's where you at now.
I'm just
Like,
saying
I
because it was the
heard
thing
you.
with listen,
What I'm
listen,
saying, what you're saying is culture vulture.
if I'm all right, peep the blitz, right?
Yep.
In the Navy, boom, I'm a cook, right?
Yeah.
Iceberg. How many FSAs turned to cooks at the being at the what they call it?
A bunch.
Cranking.
Yeah, cranking. A bunch.
15 years
Yeah.
passed.
Yeah.
You've been a CS.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to
KB, a
hear
whole master chief.
I was in air. You get what I'm saying? Like, you've been a part
KB
of
is
this.
CSCM, right?
But Neef, I think still, right, what you're talking, it don't matter how many years and how many people Drake stands behind. His default setting is still not real nigga. It doesn't matter. He
Default
could be
setting. I
around.
like
I
it.
love that. He cooked
I
on
love it.
At the end of the day, you're always going to revert back to who you truly are. He talked about people suing and turned around and sued. At the end of the day, you're always going to go back. You was who you was before you got here. Like, it don't matter how many real people he stand beside. That man been around Jay Prince since he was like 18 years old.
Right.
It don't make him real.
Right. All right, we going.
Speak a little bit on that real quick. I'm gonna say this too. In Houston, we definitely understand this because to be from where we're from and say the things that we say, it's a fraternity. So we to be a part of our culture, you gotta be born out of this. Cause we're even fact checking where you from in the city. So we already know with Drake. That's what the whole Sauce Walker thing was about. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
We talking about loyalty and we talking about man to man stuff. I look at this Meech and 50 Cent situation. Is 50 overreacting? How did we look like? How as 40-year-old men, how are we taking this in as far as like, damn, Meech is wrong, who's wrong? As a man, as your friends or somebody how are we looking at this? Just when you look at this, what are you seeing? What sticks out to you? You as your heart and the man that you are, how do you feel and take from this and feel like, yo, this ain't it? Or I agree with 50. He got a right to be on the type time he on.
And we not online discussing grown men anything. And that's even when it come down to beef. Like
that goes back to what we just talking about just now.
Exactly. That dog, I have had real life, real issues that if I were to get on here and say it, it'd seem like I'm lying. That type of real. It's not for here. So I would find it disgusting to see one of y'all. I've seen people do this on Facebook, by the way. Get on to talk about a real situation and go at the person, and it just feels disgusting. Now for those of us that's hip hop fans, we understand the 50 Cent beef, but we got it when we were all younger. At this age, we're feeling like, okay, there should be some progression. There should be some progression of you to just, hey, not even get involved in old beefs or know that Big Meech was in prison this entire time and you used his life and made a bunch of money off of it. You know what I'm saying? You created a whole story behind this man's life. He gave you content that's going to live forever. Right. I don't think you have to break that up because you seen him in a picture doing something when Big Meech got some other bigger fish to fry. I don't know. We'll get to that as far as talking about him cooperating. Like if y'all ain't been paying attention, there's a lot of cooperation and allegations on him right now. So
that's why he called him Big Screech.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. And I would implore everybody to go check it out. You know what I'm saying? But 50, and I ain't like the Irv Gotti thing either. Like either way, I didn't like any. And we talked about that, but I just don't like. He just seems to be in a negative space.
Yeah, true. 50 is on brand with who 50 is. Like none of that shocked me, right? Let me tell you what shocked me about 50 Cent. Him and Fat Joe burying they beef. Like that's what shocked me. Right? We talking about somebody who's went at it with their biological son. Marquise looked just like him. Right? He could be Curtis Jackson Jr. for real. And maybe he feels some type of way because he put him on, right? 50 didn't have to do what he did for Meech. Did not. Right? And he also didn't have to do what he did for Lil Meech. 50 paid for Lil Meech to go to acting class to making sure he got good. Right? So for Meech to get out in the line with Ross, whatever that looked like, 50 is entitled to feel whatever way he feel. That's one thing. right? But what I expect 50 to do is to do exactly what 50 Cent is doing post that. So I think the feelings are authentic about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, had that motherfucker pay for your acting classes. Had that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, do this and that, second season. They'll just write them off, right? Like, next season, goddamn old boy be in jail by now. Like, just keep it moving. So I'm like up and down with how I feel about it, right? But like 50 being 50 don't shock me at all.
Before you go, Dre, let me tap in real quick while I got it fresh in my head. Did 50 do a lot for that family? I think he did.
100%,
But
without a
I
shadow of a
think,
doubt.
but let's not act like did 50 possibly get other situations, other money, other setups due to the performance of that show?
Yes.
Right. So end of the day, let's stop acting like you just did something for them and you didn't benefit from it.
Well, that the
You know what I'm
beneficial
saying? No,
the
I'm just saying
benefit comes
as
on the
far as
back
show.
end is what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying to you is the benefit comes on the back end because the show could have been trash, right? Like it's
Right.
like
But
any
okay, the show
investment in any
worked out.
business,
So
right?
through all this, first of
Yep.
all, we already know if you watch the show done ran to it. Like it ain't must see TV. We talked about why the other ones is money. So for Little Meech, yes, you put money in your sister in a position to be an executive or whatever. As far as that, you did that. Yes, you put money in pocket. Yes, you have benefited from that. I'm pretty sure in the midst of the success of that show, you've had another opportunity. As though some other shows, because of the success of that show, now you're able to see other money that won't meet your number will never see. So yes, like it's like the thing where it's though, yeah, oh, I did such a good thing for them. You did a good thing for them, but you benefited financially also. And like you said, at the end of the day, if we have a relationship, we should be able to talk about it. It should the main thing with if 50, even with how 50 feel, the fact that the internet got to know at 50 older than all us. If you don't deal with Meech, listen, oh, the last season, boom, 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 and let the world wonder. You get what I'm saying? But for it to be a thing where as though if he didn't take that picture, you wouldn't be talking this rat shit. So if you thought he was how was he a rat 2 days, like 3 days later? So it was cool with him being a rat before the Rick Ross picture, but now because of the Rick Ross picture, he's a rat. Like
Yeah, but
you was cool with the rat shit. Like this, if we talking now, we're not talking about Drake. We talking about somebody who came up in the street shit, and the street shit is 100%
yeah,
behind his aura.
yeah.
So if you saying that the girl got the dot coming or whatever she got coming, this ain't no thing that happened 2 days ago, and the meat picture happened 3 days ago. This was already in the works. So it was cool with whatever she got going on as long as, but when Meech took that picture, now all of a sudden it's different. It's weird.
Right. So here's my twist on this, and I'm gonna land my plane here. BTS, you know what I'm saying, podcast got a deal on the table for $10 million under 50 Cent Network, right? And we all looking at the contract. We gonna have a conversation with the eight of us, and I'm gonna say, yo, you know one day that this can go bad because y'all know who we working with. That's so the
Right.
first thing I'm gonna say. The
Right.
money is gonna be good, it's gonna change all our lives. But
On
the
any given
minute this
day.
go bad, it can go bad for all of us.
Right.
Do you want to sign that agreement? That's what I'm saying, because he is gonna be him. This could be really great for us. And we can really get it jumping, and we're gonna have this back and behind us, and we're gonna have this. But I'm telling you, one day it could all go bad. And whatever decision we make from there is our own.
Right.
But I can't say, oh my God, I can't believe he did this to us. No, I'm gonna tell
He showed us
y'all.
he is who he's been.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
Right.
like, fuck out of here, Meech. You knew who he was. You just didn't think it was gonna happen to you. Right? Where I am, I know who he is, and it could happen to us, and I'm gonna let all y'all know it can happen to us.
Right.
Right? So
So be
whatever
ready
that
for
looks
that.
like, be ready for that.
Right.
That's what I'm
Dre?
saying.
Well, I think Rail, first of all, you landed the hell out that plane. Um, but I think, that whole situation, to me, right, again, I circle back to what I said originally. Imagine me beefing with somebody and I got their phone number in my phone. The world don't need to know
Yeah.
what's going on with y'all. Now, I believe 50 got the right to feel after everything he's done for them. He got the right to feel however he want to feel. I just don't agree with the way that he handles it. But I don't expect 50 Cent to handle it any other way. He's been doing this for 25 years now. At some point, you got to know, like Rel said, all right, this is going to happen. It's not even an if. Name someone around him that this didn't happen to,
So it's just a
right?
matter of time.
So it's a matter of time, right? You're going to do something that's going to make 50 mad. It's going to happen. You're going to do something that he feels is disloyal. It's going to happen. So you have to be prepared for that. My only question is, like you said, Neef, if you did all of these things for their family, right? And you knew the history and you knew the allegations that was going around against Meech and all that kind of stuff, why did you do it? Like if you was just gonna turn on them the second you felt the way about a picture, you wasn't gonna call them, you was just gonna cut them off. Why did you do it in the first place? Like that makes me question your motives in this whole thing. You didn't do that for love, you did that for the bag, right?
Right.
And
It was beneficial for you at the moment.
you got your bag. You probably got some back end deals. So, like I said, if he did something that made you feel like you had to cut him off, cool. Cut him off and don't talk to him. Hey, yo, announce, the ending of BMF, last season coming soon, whatever the case may be, and just move on. But again, I would feel like an idiot if I sat here and said I expected anything different from 50 Cent.
Right.
It's 50 Cent.
We all know the crazy thing about all this being said is like we all touched on. This is part of what comes with dealing with him.
Yes.
So your best bet is get in there, do what you gotta do, and get what you gotta get from that, and get away from that because you know
I
ain't no
mean,
left.
what we're expecting 50 Cent, right? To not for a 50 Cent situation to not end the way that this one is in. Imagine signing a Rockefeller and then getting mad because Dame Dash yell at you. Like,
Right,
it's what comes with it. So
Right.
right.
you gotta know that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know that. And anytime you do a deal with 50, you probably need to be figuring out your exit strategy as soon as you sign the deal.
And
It
I
is what
think
it
it's
is.
possible that he make you feel like because I think if you seen him with Lil Meech, you would think he loved him to death. Like you get what I'm saying? And they got to be smart and be like you said, we've all seen this happen. So you got that guy. We know people who, oh man, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Hey, I do anything for you. And you got to sit back here and say, you got
I
to
do
separate the
feel bad for
bullshit from
Lil
the real
Meech though.
shit, huh?
I feel bad for Lil Meech because I feel like, to get that opportunity to not have any real, he didn't have any bad malintent,
But know what it is? You're naive if you think you're any different than anybody else. If he put his arm around you and tell you, yo, how many necks do you think he put that arm around?
I
What
mean,
Well, I
makes you think you're so
but you're playing
special
your
that
dad. You're playing your like. I think it's okay. This is a very unique situation. You are living out your dad on screen. Your dad is you know, he's attached to criminality in such a large way that he is popular. He is so popular. You're put in this position to have this hit show, and you're being loyal based off of what you believe, and then all of a sudden this happens and it's done. Like I mean, and just put a little humanism to that. That's wild because he wasn't
but
trying to be
our
no
four
actor.
definitions of loyalty ain't that. Like Dre said, you can have that conversation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
right.
You
I
can have that
think this
conversation.
is I think
If
this is oh go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Neef.
no, no, go ahead. I ain't saying nothing.
I think that this is more telling of a deeper issue, right? And I think the deeper issue in all of this and the bigger lesson in all of this is look what happens when you allow another man to put food on your table.
Uh,
Point blank, period.
Mm, damn.
They relied on 50 Cent, Little Meat specifically, relied on 50 Cent for his to put food on his table and wasn't out there trying to find food for himself. And this is what happens when you do that.
right.
So
And
as
when,
a man, you can get money with somebody, but never allow another man to put food on your table and be the sole purpose of you eating. You can't
and
do
that's
that.
what's happening in the history of him. When you look at a young buck,
Yep.
when I think of state property, when you sit back here, when somebody else controls everything you do, and you've been in the game for how long, and you don't set yourself up for your next move because you never know, it falls on you.
Mm-hmm.
You seen Game, and I don't necessarily think 50 the like it's too many. What makes you so special? What makes you think you different than everybody? What makes that girl think she's different? What makes the girls that deal with Aunt Edwards think they different than the past joints that dealt with Aunt Edwards? We here.
Oh man. Oh man.
What made you think at 38 years old that this 23-year-old young boy was going to lock in on you when he just showed you, when he told Shorty, send me the video with you swallowing the pills? What made you think you was different, Shorty?
Oh man. Oh man. You boy, we finna go somewhere else, huh?
Let's go, Juice. What's up? What's up? I'm just saying,
Oh
like
man.
hold on
This is
when
a
I think on
setup.
that, right? Because I've been listening to a lot of this, right? And she
Right.
said some things that made a lot of sense, but he already showed you where he was at with it. What made you think you was special? That is the ongoing thing of this episode. What makes you think you're special? Bro, write that down.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
makes you think you're
I,
special?
I'm gonna say this as far as that situation goes. So we gotta also look at the characters in the play and what the movie is about. He's Anthony Edwards.
Right.
He's going after, he's a basketball player. He is, you know what I'm saying? Um, he's uberly rich. Um, he goes after a certain type. He goes after a certain type, a woman with a BBL who is invested in her body. I'm taking this point from Grizzly Adams. We said this on the Charm Hour. You know, she invested in her body to get somebody like that. Why are you hitting that raw dog, bro? Why are you raw dogging that? And then you gonna tell her on the phone, you know what I'm saying? Her to get the AB? You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna all this is bad on him. I'm really looking, but he young. I get that. Now, as far as she
You
goes,
38.
That's what,
She
huh?
38.
Yeah, she 38. She should know better, but guess what? Some of them never grow up. Some of them never. She got to be. Look, do you know how much money she won?
Right. So, but she bothered by the fact that the reaction of everybody to the whole situation. But she the one put the text messages out there. Here we go again. Dre, what you say? Why am I going on social media when I can make a phone call?
Why are we not addressing the fact that she's just a groupie? Like she's living in her purpose. You only going if you're 38 years old, you know what you want from a 23-year-old money. What are we talking about?
Right. Indeed.
Like, I saw the story and read nothing into it, and I can tell y'all everything that's happening. Like, I know nothing about it. I don't know the girl. I ain't see the messages, but you're 38 years old. It's the same
Hold
thing with
on. No,
Drea
you
and
missing something.
goddamn on eight
She
with
she
Jalen
38
Green.
years old and she got a baby by a little baby already.
Bro, this is who
That's
she
little baby
is.
mama.
This is who she is.
oh, that's who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is who she is. This is what she
Oh, God.
does.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a
No,
group of
but she
them.
is as much as she is who she is, he is who he is. And y'all both knew who each other was.
But why
I
we
fault
letting it
her
off on
because
her?
she is literally the person who's doing it. I fault her. It's on her. I say what I say.
You so but Aunt,
You know Drea and Jalen Green's son the same age? You know they're
I
the
know,
same age?
I
He
know,
just had a baby.
I know.
Wow.
Same situation.
But
It's
young boy,
literally
how
the
many
same person.
how many babies you gonna have by these chicks who you don't want to have babies by?
As
He's gonna
many
do it
as
at
he can
least
drop
4
a
more
load on.
times. At
He
least
gonna,
minimum.
yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do it at least 4 more times.
The good thing about the league is the money he make, he not gonna be
That's what I'm
short count.
saying. That's what I'm saying. TV deals is much better than they was in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That shit wild, man. I'm my bad, y'all. I had to that was right. That was a layup.
No, that
Hey,
was
Ann
right there
Edwards,
for
strap up,
sure.
young boy. Like at 23, as many kids you got?
Hey,
Bro,
that
this
30,
happened every year with somebody. Go ahead, Juice.
that 30-year look for all the audience out there, for all the young men. Let me tell y'all something. That 30 to 40-year-old, that window, that cootie cat is dangerous. You don't need to be playing around with that raw. You need to put on protection because that's a different type of JJ. It's gonna get you. It's gonna draw you in. You gotta leave it alone. Look at Jalen Green. Jalen Green hooping though, like you know
She
what I'm
got
saying?
Until it
years
go
and years of
bad. Until it go
experience.
bad. Drea don't have a track record of being with somebody long term, right? She's still staying. And my man, who is my
No,
man?
she not staying there no more. He got her put
Oh,
out.
he got out. Well, she was like recently, like
That's
in the past
that's
3 or 4
wild that
months.
that's wild that all the money that Jalen Green has, his kid's mom, future mom, pregnant, is staying in another man's crib.
Oh, she had that baby already, dog.
But regardless
That
of
baby good.
whatever, when all the money I got, I can. What's your
And you
dream
still
house?
staying
Because the
in
whole thing
Tyrod
was,
Tyler house.
yeah, the whole
Tyrod Taylor
story
house.
was, oh, she fixed the house up how she wanted it, and he told her he was
He's
going.
gonna sell it to
Listen,
her.
stop. If you don't got nothing on paper, stop sitting back here listening to what nigga
It was
tell
a
you.
napkin deal.
You foolish for that. How old you got to be to sit back here? Or a nigga told you something? No, show me on paperwork. We not married. Show me on paperwork that if this is gonna happen, you gonna make sure boom, boom, boom. You talking about what a nigga said he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I
But
wanted to
now
say
you
something
pregnant by,
else,
but can
but
you
I'm gonna
blame
get
him? You pregnant by another nigga talking about the house I said I was gonna give you. No, that nigga got what he just signed. If you don't get out my face,
But I'm trying to figure out how long, like Dre been on the scene for what, 15, 20 years now?
25, yo, easy. Like it's been forever. Like Drea been around for the longest.
Right. So why are you 35 years old? You've been a video vixen, you've been in the industry, you've been doing these things. Why you don't have a house? You ain't bought no townhouse, you ain't
you
buy a condo,
you
nothing.
because
fell
the
for what the nigga
majority of them
said.
are not good with
As
money.
as many years as you said she been in here, you fell for what this nigga said. How you been in the game 25 years and a nigga can tell you something and you think that shit really means something if it ain't on no paperwork?
She
That's
40.
crazy.
How is your son in the
She
book?
is.
That shit is wild. The fact I
Born
couldn't talk to a woman that was my child's
1985.
age. You
Oh
know
yeah,
how
she
crazy
40.
that is? What do you as a 42-year-old man, what do you talk to a 23-year-old woman about?
They don't think like us though. Like I know that when we say this, we get called names. We they say we're misogynists or whatever. But I'm gonna take the polite way. I'm older now, so I don't have to
Right.
be so negative. But they do not. Our mistake as men is that we think that they're going to think like us. They don't even have the same thought process. So a 38-year-old woman is very much so still as delusional as a younger woman, and sometimes a child. And we see this in their actions because you're thinking like we just had this has been the mature moment. These are the mature hours of us. We've been talking about growing old and how we're gonna handle different situations. We talk about maturity here. We're expecting her to behave the same way. But the truth is, if you're leveraging off your body, if you're leveraging off something temperamental, you're not mature. You're
Mhm.
not thinking maturely. You don't have no sign of maturation because you're doing things off of how things look and feel. That's very childlike. So I don't even assume that these women, especially if she got a BBL, that she's gonna be making mature choices. I mean, you put a BBL on, so it's fitting. Like Real said, they living in their purpose, and that cootie cat is working.
Cootie
It's
cat is
dangerous.
wild. Cootie cat is wild. Yeah. All right. So let me ask y'all something, man. Now we all are men with teenage daughters. As men and this new generation of technology and what's going on, how do you deal and maneuver? I'm pretty sure we all got daughters. I'm not sure about Dre, but we all got daughters over 15, 16 years old. And
I
it's
got
in this
during
in this
college.
environment. What kind of conversations are you? How honest are you? How blunt? You get what I'm saying? Like, how are you dealing in this space, in this world? First of all, we never even dealt in this. So we was 16, 17 years old. Can you imagine can you imagine being 16 to 17 years old in this shit? This shit is
Nah, I don't
wild.
even want to think about it.
This is the wild, wild west.
Yeah,
So
I
how do
just
you
think
deal as men who've been outside and have daughters who are becoming young women in this climate environment? We're gonna start with iceberg.
yeah, so I if y'all don't know, I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old. Let me put that in very, very much
It's a lot of
perspective.
fucking years ago.
A long time ago, right? So many years ago. But again, I made the decision to join the Navy when I was 16. I signed up the day after my 17th birthday. And 30 days after I graduated from high school, I was, you know what I'm saying, on my way. So, and then we didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phones. I still had a page. I got home from boot camp, got a pager. So that was like our way of communication. Phone booths was still a thing. And then you start having children, and then the information age happens, and you get any answer you want just like this in nanoseconds, truly. Um, I try to be a friend to my children today. The raising them to do right and wrong is over, right? Why do I want to be a friend to my child? My youngest will be 18 in 2 weeks, right? My youngest. And you look back and you say, well, I've done all the parenting I can actually do because now your decisions are your own. You're in college, right? You're an adult, right? You're going away to school further than anybody has, and then you're like, well, what does that actually mean as a parent? I don't know what else to tell you other than do the right thing or share my experiences with you. But the problem my experiences are, they were my own, right? I was wilding when I was 14 and 15 years old and the things that I was doing, right? But I have to share those things with my children to let them know the perils of the things that can happen to you now. So I don't shy away from any conversations because what you want to do as they grow older is you want to be the person that they talk to, right? Because if you're not and they don't feel like they can talk to you or they don't feel like you can trust them or they don't feel that you're not all in their business or you know what I'm saying, feel like they don't have privacy because you want to say, well, I'm the parent, you're just going to push them further away from you. And then it's a huge problem you're going to have at that point, right? Because they're still going to do it no matter what. Like, let's be honest, they're going to do it and they're going to find a way to do it. Because guess what people do? Find ways to do things. Ask us how we know. Because we all did it. We found ways to do things. They will. Trust me.
Juice.
Man, great wisdom. I think that I had a lot of freedom in the ghetto at that age. And that causes you to face some real adult situations sooner. So I think our generation knows sometimes the worst that could happen. So I was always approaching it from that standpoint. Um, I set up hard boundaries on do's and don'ts, but I was very open with commentary based off of what my daughter was telling me, even starting in middle school. So by the time we got to this, she's in college now. We can get on the phone like two adults. I can't tell you, oh, do it or else. Like that's not the because my approach on her now and everybody reaching that age is life has its own set of ass whoopings for you when you don't abide by certain things. So you ain't gotta worry about me. Now I'm gonna lay this wisdom on you. If you don't take this wisdom, then it's on you. But I gotta tell you what's gonna happen if you lay down with this man, you're not married, you have a child with him. It's like it's so much that can happen. You need to understand that. I'm just giving you, I'm preparing you for realities, but I can admit this too. And this is definitely for the audience. I think one mistake that I did make that when you have multiple children, you can kind of work multiple children, but children, multi-family, you can work on this with the younger siblings is, but talk about the positivity in life. Talk about like when you do the right thing, what happens. Talk about the great things about marriage. I'm divorced, but divorce is terrible. It's great to be married, when you do it right. Like, also drop the gems on how to, make progression and not just talk from a negative standpoint. But you have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Shout out to Larry June for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like you really do. So that's my approach. And especially as women, I'm gonna land here when you're talking about, I know how I did women, so I know how a woman can get done. I have to also inform her of that. How men can, how we can be sometimes when we're just thinking with that with the lustful self. You know, we can be reckless, and it can cause them to be reckless. So I have to inform her of that, and I hate that. It makes me reflect on like, man, being a player wasn't so cool, especially when you're not guiding these women in the right direction. You're just taking advantage of them. So I just keep it real with her, and we talk on the phone. We even sometimes have our little spats because we have disagreements. But at the end of the day, she can always talk to me.
Dre.
Yeah, so First, let me just say this. I do have a teenage daughter, and I don't allow my teenage daughter to have social media. But I do explain to her, my thought process behind her not having social media. We've had that conversation. I think that, you know, um, she's only got a couple of years left in the house. And so now, like Rel said, I've done pretty much all the parenting, right, that I can do. And now my focus has kind of shifted into making her the best young lady that she can be. And, sometimes that comes with hard conversations. Sometimes that comes with difficult conversations. But at the end of the day, my main goal is for her to feel comfortable coming to me to have a conversation. I'll tell y'all, for the first time this year, she came to me and she asked me, could a boy be her Valentine? Right. So I told her, I asked her some questions about the boy and I told her, all right, cool. What does that mean to you? What is his responsibility now that he's your Valentine? What is he expecting from you because you're his Valentine, right? So we had that conversation. And then I happened to take her to a basketball game and we met the young man. He made it a point to come over to me and meet me, and I thought that that was respectable. And I told
Right.
him, I appreciate you making an effort, to come over and meet me and make sure that everything's okay with me. So I get, I shook his hand and told him that I appreciated that. After I met this young man, I sat in a car with my daughter and we had a real life conversation. And I had to tell her, am I ready for you to start dating yet? No. Um, but do you have to worry about me trying to intimidate every man, every little boy that you bring to the house and all that? You don't got to worry about that because at the end of the day, not only do I want you to feel comfortable coming to talk to me, but if you do happen to have a boyfriend down the road, I want him to feel comfortable coming to talk to me too. Why? Because then I know that I can help guide you guys to avoid a lot of the bullshit that I went through in my life and that I've seen other people go through. Right. And so now I just feel like it's more about a relationship than trying to keep them from doing all the crazy stuff that I was out there doing and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's about that, right? I need you to be able to think for yourself. And I think oftentimes as parents, we think that our job is to stop our child from falling, when reality is that sometimes your job as a father is just to pick them up and put the band-aid on the wound,
Oh,
right? So I'm not trying to stop my daughter from making any mistakes. There are some that are more difficult to recover from. So I'm trying to teach you how to not make those mistakes. But at the end of the day, I need you to know that I'm here for you and that I will, help you get back up if you do make those mistakes. So I think it's more in this day and age, you got to be real because they can see through the bullshit. You got to be real and you have to put in the work to build a relationship and make them comfortable coming to talk to
I have nothing else to say on this conversation because y'all guys covered every aspect of that, and I agree. And I'm definitely taking notes and as I move on. Quick takes, y'all ready?
Let's go.
Hove case
And
drop.
at the end of it, I got one too.
Hove case drop. How you feel about it, Dre?
I mean, what did we expect? I mean,
Juice?
Oh, that boy got active. He got activated. He didn't let the
I
lawyer speak. He spoke. Sorry, and I'm like, he don't even be. It's gonna be over with.
Iceberg.
I knew it was bullshit when he signed it with his real name. It was like Sean Carter. I was like, oh, all right, this is a wrap.
And I ain't Puff. Don't bring that shit over here.
Yeah,
This ain't that. Uh, where is Aaron Rodgers going? Iceberg.
home,
Where the fuck is that at?
California.
Juice?
I don't know where he started.
He go on the podcast and talk about taking shrooms. I'm
Mm,
telling you, he's gonna be out there, but he's gonna be doing that.
Dre?
home is what you said.
Hopefully to the unemployment line.
Mm.
Juice, I don't think he has enough personality to even be somebody that we listen to.
But he's been doing like I'm saying, like
He's been
he's
doing
been doing
Pat.
stuff. Like
Oh,
he's
real?
trying, huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, he did Pat. He was on Jeopardy. Yeah, like
But they gotta
he's
walk
doing
him
it,
through
man.
that shit. I mean, we will see. I don't think he's a personality like a Jameis Winston.
No,
No,
Shout out to
nobody's J-Bo.
Jameis Winston is a star.
J-Bo should get out the NFL right now.
He's a star.
Yeah,
That backup
Must see
quarterback
TV.
shit is nothing. He gonna make more money. Jameis Winston will make more money
outside.
in his post NFL life than he made as an NFL quarterback.
Yep, agree.
Best live performance you ever seen, Dre,
Are we talking in person?
in person.
Uh, 2004 Jay-Z and Friends tour.
Mm.
Iceberg.
Any of the Beyonce concerts I've been to, and I've been to a lot.
Cool. I'm at Juice.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. I got to see them live. It was one of the best hip hop shows I've ever seen in my life.
Mm.
I seen Usher. I know it wasn't like it was in Vegas, but I enjoy Usher. Usher live.
Did you eat a strawberry?
Nah, I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would. Juice. Would you slap your daddy for $1 million?
Man, nah, man. Nah. I can't do that, dog. I wouldn't even. Nah.
Iceberg.
Yeah, and bust it down with him. Fuck out of here. What are you talking
Dre.
about?
Front or backhand?
Man.
Yo, I'm slapping the bullshit out my body.
Oh, slap my
And
dad.
I want my kids, if my kids was offered the same situation, y'all better slap the shit out of me. We can do some things with $1 million.
Let me explain something to you. If anybody that know my dad, if I didn't do it, he'd slap the shit out of me.
Right.
Okay.
Indeed. We talk about some shit that can make some things happen. Iceberg, what would you
Yep.
do with Travis Hunter? You a GM. You
Yep.
draft him. What would you do with him?
Cornerback.
Nothing else?
He too small. Well, I mean, gadget plays, yeah, but I don't think he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cornerback.
For sure, he's a cornerback.
Juice?
But he can play both sides of the ball, right? Like he's
Yes.
played both sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he shined as a corner.
Right.
Would we agree with that?
Yeah.
I'm
He
putting him
shot
at
both.
corner
That's that.
full time, but I might have some 3 receiver lineups with a minute. I'm going to give him some offensive plays. He's going to at least get the Dion treatment or something.
Oh yeah.
The dunk contest. How you feel about it, Dre?
I mean, they're gonna have to do something because Matt gonna win it every year, ain't he? I mean, they're gonna have to figure something out. This year, I will say, I thought this year was a little better than it has been in previous years.
Juice?
Yeah, man, that done. We getting like TikTok level dunks now. So now we didn't see it. I feel like what would y'all rate that as a dunk? I mean, that dunk alone as a contest dunk, I think that's probably one of the best dunks we've seen.
Which
It
one?
looked good. When he jumped over the car.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like jumping over the car, making it. What am I saying? Something wrong?
No,
No,
yeah.
I'm
No, you're not. We're listening.
Like I'm saying, like doing that. I mean,
For his height.
okay.
He's small too. Like it's different from the Blake Griffin thing.
Yo, do y'all watch
and that was his first dunk. That was his first dunk.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
And he made it on the first try.
He didn't miss any of the things that he tried.
Yeah, I think he hit everything.
He hit everything. One take back.
So it's like, hey man, I think it's gonna have to be at that. It's gonna be harder to put on the actual dunk contest show when you're doing stuff like that. If you ain't got people dunking like that, is nobody gonna want to see it.
Iceberg.
My take is hotter than that. LeBron James fucked with the dunk contest by not participating. You can't have the biggest stars in the NBA not participate in the dunk contest. The only person I knew from that dunk contest was Mac McClung. It's egregious that Mac McClung has made double what he's made winning 3 slam dunk contests than all his earnings in the NBA. It is like, and now everybody, I see Mac, here go Ja, I would do it, and here go goddamn Giannis. If you do it, I'll do it. Like, y'all should have been doing it.
We went through
y'all should have been doing it. Shut the fuck up.
They did that years ago.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. LeBron, it's your fault. All the greats have done it. Dr. J, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. LeBron never not dumped into it, made it fucking acceptable for Anthony Edwards, John Morant, Giannis for not doing it. So fuck out of here.
Zion.
Yeah, right, yeah. Fuck out of here. Y'all ruined that shit. LeBron done a lot of great things except for that.
LeBron definitely fucked that up. And I think the hunger of the fact that he ain't made no money is a different situation. I'm thinking if I'm a G League team, every G League team should go out here and find the best dunker in the world and put him on the roster when All-Star time come up. Like that seemed like that's all he does. That's all he's done. You got guys who got everybody's too cool for school.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's too cool for school. And with that being said, let me dip into the All-Star game because I don't care what stipulation. I don't care what kind of game you make it. If the players don't have that hunger, then it will never succeed. The best the and this is another LeBron James situation because when Mike was there, Mike made it. Oh, they made the winner make this much more than the loser do. When Kobe was there, Kobe locked in on LeBron, and no
Heck
matter
that
what
shit.
stipulation you make it, the players have to make it pop. The players got to make it. I don't care what you do. I don't care what type of we're gonna do 2-on-2, 3-on. It don't matter if they're not locked in and somebody don't sit back here and say, yo, fuck all that. We busting everybody ass in here. Period. We locking everybody down. We busting their ass. The only one who I think got the heart of that shit, Giannis a little bit, but Giannis ain't really locked in on it, shit like that. But Ant Edwards is the type of boy when that type of time who I'm dunking on everybody. We whooping everybody ass. We not letting nobody get nothing. And when you got players who got that kind of mindset, then this weekend will be on my fucking TV. It was a point in my life where as though the All-Star weekend was a mandatory thing. My life was moved around according to the All-Star weekend. Now my life has moved. If I see it, I see it. That's how I move now in that space. And
Right.
until they get that shit right, and it starts with the number one guys in the fucking league saying, yo, I want to win. I want to bust everybody ass. And that's what we doing. And when the head guys say that, then we'll get a better fucking product.
Well, I
Juice.
think one
Oh,
one
my
thing
bad,
one
Dre. Go ahead, Dre.
one thing I got to say about All Star Weekend though, one mistake that they're making is why is it Valentine's Day weekend? Like that's the first mistake because you're missing out on. You know how many men wanted to watch All Star Weekend but was stuck at Roof Chris with their significant others. This is Valentine's Day weekend. They got to cut it out. The first thing they need to do is move the date. Everything else you said, Neef, I completely agree with.
Dre, I love you like cook food. But I'd rather be at Roof Chris with my wife enjoying it than watching what the fuck they've been pointing out the last couple of
Oh,
years.
facts,
Last
So
couple
the
facts.
years, it's been
product
like
has
10
the
years, yo. Like it's
huh?
been bad. And I don't want to just stop at the NBA. The Pro Bowl is
Right.
egregious. Like, just stop it.
The last good year the NBA had was after Kobe died, and they did the plus 24 at the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
That was the last good year they had. But the best All-Star game, that All-Star game with AI, Steph and them, when against Kobe and them boys and really set it, that's what we want to see. I'd rather
yeah.
watch that repeated on TV than watch any of the bullshit they putting out right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Facts.
What you got, Iceberg? You got more of that shit or no?
No, that's it.
They done pissed me the fuck off. I'm
Yeah.
worked up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't watched the All-Star game. I don't be watching it.
All right, man. This is Brothers Talking Shit, episode
Hold on, man. I got a
17.
real quick. I know
Okay,
Dre
go ahead.
had something, you know what I'm saying? And
Oh, yeah, yeah, my
I just
bad.
want to get something off my
Go
chest,
ahead, go
man.
ahead, go ahead.
We talked a lot about the Super Bowl, right? So in January of 1992, the Super Bowl was on CBS, and a little known black show on Fox decided to take viewership away from them, and that was In Living Color. If you don't know about In Living Color, do your Googles, and it was the Wayans brothers. So after that, the NFL said you can't take 30 million people from us ever again, and they went and got the biggest artist in the world to do the Super Bowl show in 1993, and his name was Michael Jackson. Right. So next time you think about how you enjoy this Super Bowl halftime show, make sure you thank the Wayans brothers because they are the reason that we
Uh,
have Super Bowl performances today. It is
uh,
because of Keenan Ivory Wayans. Let's be
Mm,
very clear. We set the
that's what's
tone.
up.
Just
Black
want to make
History
sure
Month.
everybody know that. Right? Just want to make sure everybody know.
This
uh.
week's Black History fact.
Yeah.
What you got, Dre?
Go ahead, Dre.
No, so the only thing that I had was kind of ties into what we was just talking about. I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying, what was Valentine's Day like for y'all fellas?
Me and the wife went to North Jersey. That was one of the drinks I had on my drink. Went to North Jersey to this spot called Experience. Had a good time. They tried to they tried to basically act like they only had one menu on some, oh, you get two drinks, a bottle more wet for 400, like on that type time. And it was like they tried to sell us a certain menu, and I was gonna be pissed because I had no problem with that being a situation, but tell us that before we make the reservation. Make the reservation. Hey, listen, this is the menu we going with. Then we can decide. All right, you know what? We don't want to come here. Whatever. We get there and it's a menu that they trying to sell us like basically it starts at 300 for two people and you can only get certain things. But then the couple next to us got something that wasn't on that menu, and I'm like, yo, hold on. So y'all telling me the regular menu available? And it
Mm.
was. That was real corny shit, but we had a good night. We ended up getting the food that we wanted. We had a great night. So my Valentine's Day was a good day. We met a couple next to us that was from the city. Her the girl the boy next to me, his fiance wife went to school with my wife, and a very entertaining, amazing time. We end up talking to the chef, got a free glass of Moet apiece, and we had a good time. So my Valentine's Day was great.
Yeah, kept it light, man. Got my lady some flowers, got some shoes. Got my daughter a bear and a gift card, man. But I'm dedicating this episode to my Uncle Greg. He passed away last Monday on the 10th, and his birthday is actually on Valentine's Day. So
Shout out Uncle Greg.
spent time with my family, man, and we celebrated and just celebrated his life and his legacy with all my cousins, my mom, my aunts, and just kicked it there, man. So that's how my Valentine's Day was, man. Bigger than just the superficial holiday, man. It was really a family celebration for me. So episode 170 is dedicated to Uncle Greg.
Shout out Uncle Greg. Juice.
Hey, man, I'm single, man. It was cheap. It was, I got some candidates trying to submit some applications, but right now, we got to freeze. We got to freeze on the faculty right now. We not letting know. You can submit your application. I'm gonna review it, but we ain't doing no hiring right now, man. But we looking over applications. But man, hey man, this was my first time being single, bro. So I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I just
Dre, what
But
you
I'm not
doing?
a hater either.
My bad.
First of all, shout out to moms. Valentine's Day is mom's birthday, so
Happy
you know,
birthday, moms.
Happy birthday.
sent
Happy
her a little
birthday.
something. And then for my girls, went out there. I went out and made them little gift bags. Bought them some gift bags and gave those to them for Valentine's Day. And shout out to my wife for being dope. We sat this shit out. I shot my wife a text on Thursday and said, "Hey, are we actively participating in Valentine's Day?" And she was like, "Man, fuck that shit." And so we didn't do anything. We sat on the couch. I watched, the All Star festivities, and we just kind of hung out, and that was it, man. We got a date night planned next month, and that's gonna be bogus times day next month. But
Huh.
we set that shit out, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, before we end this, men with daughters, it's Valentine's Day for them too. What you do for them, the
Facts.
things you do for them means something. So when some young boy come up with some goofy shit, trying to act like he doing something with your daughter, like, dog, my dad been out here making moves. That shit ain't phasing me. So let's keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Men out here with daughters, let's show them how we should move and what they deserve in our actions, so they won't fall for the goofy shit all quick. But this is Brothers Talking Shit, episode 170. Bro, I got some shit in the oven, so we gotta go.
Yeah. Lay y'all.
Love y'all.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace.
No.